Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. I wanted to put another video out about some tips and tricks on fishing, and I want to talk about what the features are on a Baitcater reel. Now, some of you probably already fish with Baitcater reels all the time. You probably already know this stuff, but if you're thinking about upgrading from any other kind of reel to a Baitcater, this video is probably more for you. And what I have here today is a 6500C Abu Garcia Ambassador made in Sweden. Now, there are several different makers of Baitcater reels. Penn makes one, Shakespeare makes one, and several others, but they're all very similar. So, first thing about these Baitcater reels, you'll notice this guy right here. This is a spool tension nut. What it does when you tighten it up, it puts more tension on your spool. If you loosen it off, it takes the tension off your spool. Now, if you have it real tight, you can cast it out there a little ways and it may not backlash as bad. It helps control backlash, and that's great. But if you want to get it out there a good long ways, you have to back off on this, set your spool tension to pretty loose, and have good thumb control on your spool when you cast. If you don't have good thumb control and your spool's too loose, that's a disaster. That's a bad backlash waiting to happen. So this right here controls your spool tension. Next thing on these reels, you have your drag control. That's this little nut right here just below the reel handle. And if you're fishing and you catch a big fish and you think he's taking too much drag, you can tighten it up. If you have too much drag on your reel and it feels like your line's gonna break, move it back to the left and it'll loosen off on it. So this is your drag control. Of course, everybody knows this is your reel handle. Now on the back side of these reels, you have this little guy right here. This releases your spool. So when you get ready to cast, you press that in. Let's line out. Click the handle to stop the spool like that. Some reels, if they're newer, have a thumb bar across here. And they don't have this, but it's the same principle. You click the thumb bar, it releases the spool, you're ready to cast. Click the handle, stop the spool. Another feature on this reel that I really like, let me get it out here. On the back side here, this guy is the reel clicker. And what it does, it's like a fish alarm. You can cast it out if you're catfishing, have your weight setting on the bottom, reel the slack up. You can turn this on, click this to unlock the spool. If you get a bite, it's going to sound off. It'll also click when you reel it in like this too. And what I like to do when I'm catfishing at night, or if I've got something going on and I'm trying to multitask and I've got a pole out, I'll set it out and I'll turn the reel clicker on. That way when I get a bite, I'll hear it going off and I can go down there and set the hook. But if your reel clicker's on and your spool release nut is on, and you get a bite and he's taking line and you go to set the hook, just remember to click the handle first. If not, you're asking for a bad backlash. But whenever you cast out, say you're first baiting out your line, you want to cast it out there, I'd turn your spool clicker off. It'll cast a lot further that way. So we've covered the spool clicker, we've covered the spool release button. Some newer models have a thumb bar right here. We've covered spool tension nut, and how to set the drag and the reel handle. And that's basically how your Baitcater reels work. And like I said, there are several different makes and models of Baitcater reels, but they're all similar. And if you don't have all this stuff set up right, you're asking for a bad bird nest. So hopefully this video will help you out if you're thinking about upgrading to a Baitcater reel. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend Abu Garcia, my favorite reel of all for catching big game freshwater fish. And hopefully this video will help you out. If you like my video, subscribe to my channel. Feel free to share, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys and thank y'all for watching my video. Now y'all go get out on the water and catch some fish. Thank you.